haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now, let's go. The conference after party. It was supposed to be just another business trip. You know, the usual drill. Conferences, seminars, networking events, and, of course, the obligatory after party. I've been on these work trips before, but this time, my wife Lisa decided to join me. She thought it would be a nice getaway from the kids. Our two little terrors, Ethan and Sarah, ages 5 and 7. The idea of leaving the chaos behind for a few days in a fancy hotel was too good for her to resist. Besides, you'll be busy during the day. I'll lounge by the pool, hit the spa, and we can have dinners together, she had said. Sounded good to me. A little quality time away from parenting duties didn't hurt anyone, right? The trip was going fine until that night. You know, the night where things go sideways, and you're left questioning everything. We'd arrived at the conference hotel in sunny Orlando, and everything was off to a smooth start. I spent the first day attending sessions on market disruption and the future of innovation. Boring as hell, by the way. While Lisa relaxed at the hotel pool and sent me texts of cocktails and sunshine. Meanwhile, I was stuck in a windowless room with my boss and 100 other business types who thought using phrases like synergistic solutions made them sound intelligent. The evening was when things took a turn. There was the usual post-conference dinner, the kind where everyone's a little too eager to hit the open bar after enduring hours of jargon and PowerPoint slides. We joined the group, Lisa dressed to kill in her black cocktail dress, looking like she was ready for a gala rather than a work event. I couldn't blame her. It wasn't often she got to dress up, and I was proud to have her by my side. We were seated at a long table with my colleagues, and things started light. The wine was flowing, the conversation was pleasant, and even Lisa seemed to be getting along with the people I worked with. But then, after dinner, the mood shifted. One of my colleagues, Derek, a slick-talking guy from marketing with the kind of smile you don't trust, suggested heading to the hotel bar for drinks. "Come on, James," he grinned at me, his eyes darting between Lisa and me. "Let's have a nightcap. You too, Lisa. Don't let him drag you away just yet." I wasn't too keen on the idea. The bar scene wasn't my thing, but Lisa nudged me. "Come on, let's have some fun. You'd never let loose." That was true. So we went. A few of us from the conference gathered at the bar, ordering drinks and settling in for the night. The conversation turned casual, and everyone seemed to be in high spirits. But as the drinks kept coming, I noticed something strange. Lisa was talking to Derek more than usual. At first, it was innocent enough. Just a bit of conversation, some laughs, and I thought nothing of it. But then, I caught her leaning in a little too close, whispering something in his ear, and he laughed, a bit too loudly for my taste. Okay, maybe it was just the alcohol loosening her up, but my gut told me otherwise. Call it instinct, call it paranoia. Either way, I started paying more attention. After about an hour of drinks, the group began to thin out. People were either calling it a night or heading off to their rooms. I figured it was time for us to head upstairs as well. "Hey babe, what do you say we head back up? Early start tomorrow," I said, nudging Lisa's arm. "Actually," she said, avoiding eye contact, "I think I'm going to get some air with Derek for a minute." I stared at her for a second, trying to process what she had just said. Asterisk with Derek. Asterisk. Why the hell would she need to go anywhere with Derek? Before I could respond, they were already moving toward the lobby. "Just a minute," she called back, waving as they disappeared around the corner. Now, I'm not a naturally suspicious guy. I've always trusted Lisa. After all, we've been together for nearly 10 years, but something about this didn't sit right with me. I tried to shake it off, telling myself it was nothing. I stayed at the bar for a while longer, sipping my drink and chatting with another colleague, but my mind kept wandering back to Lisa and Derek. Where the hell were they? About 30 minutes later, Lisa returned to the bar, alone. She looked calm, collected, like nothing out of the ordinary had happened. But something was different. She had a flush to her cheeks, and her lipstick was slightly smudged. Her dress, which had been perfectly neat earlier, now had a slight wrinkle. "Ready to go?" she asked casually, as if she hadn't just spent the last half hour God knows where with another man. I nodded, not wanting to make a scene, but my mind was racing. I didn't say anything on the way back to our room. She acted like everything was normal, making small talk about how great the evening had been. I played along, but my brain was piecing things together. Something was definitely off. The next morning, I woke up early, feeling uneasy. Lisa was still asleep, looking peaceful and innocent as ever. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something had happened last night. I grabbed my phone and scrolled through my messages, looking for something to distract myself. But then, I remembered Derek. I didn't want to believe it, but my gut was telling me I had to check. So while Lisa was still sleeping, I slipped out of the room and went downstairs to find Derek. Sure enough, he was at the breakfast buffet, looking far too chipper for someone who had been drinking all night. "Morning, man," I said, trying to sound casual. "Hey, James, great night, huh?" Derek grinned, a little too widely. "Yeah, about that." I hesitated for a moment before continuing. "Listen, where did you and Lisa go last night? She said you guys went to get some air, but I don't know. Something feels off." Derek's smile faltered for a second, but he quickly recovered. "Oh, that. We just went for a walk around the hotel. You know, needed to clear our heads after all those drinks. Nothing to worry about." His response was too smooth, too rehearsed. My gut tightened. This guy was hiding something. I didn't push it. Instead, I nodded, grabbed some coffee, and headed back to the room. Lisa was up by the time I returned, sitting on the edge of the bed, scrolling through her phone. She looked up and smiled at me, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You okay?" she asked, her voice a little too sweet. "Yeah, just tired," I muttered. But I wasn't tired. I was suspicious, and over the next few days, that suspicion grew. Lisa and Derek didn't interact much for the rest of the conference, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something had happened between them that night. Every time I looked at her, I couldn't help but wonder, was she hiding something? Back at home, the nagging doubt gnawed at me. Lisa returned to her usual routine, taking care of the kids, going about her day like nothing had changed, but I couldn't let it go. I replayed that night over and over in my head, and every time I came to the same conclusion. She had cheated on me. One evening, while Lisa was out running errands, I decided to do something I never thought I'd do. I went through her phone. I hated myself for it, but I had to know the truth. And there it was. Hidden in her text messages, under a chat with her best friend, was a conversation with Derek. The messages weren't explicit, but they were suggestive enough. They talked about that night and how they had to be more careful. My heart sank. When Lisa came home, I confronted her. I didn't yell, didn't scream. I just asked her straight out, "Did you sleep with Derek?" Her face went pale, and for a moment, I thought she might deny it. But then, she broke down. "It was a mistake, James. It only happened once. I was drunk, and it didn't mean anything. I love you, not him. Please, you have to believe me." I stood there, staring at her, trying to process what she had just said. A mistake? How could cheating on me be a mistake? I didn't know what to feel. Anger, betrayal, sadness. They all hit me at once. "I trusted you," I finally said, my voice low. "You completely destroyed that trust." She cried, begged for forgiveness. But I couldn't stay. I grabbed my keys, told her I needed time, and walked out the door. I drove for hours, trying to figure out what to do next. It's been a few weeks now, and things haven't gotten any easier. We're still living together for the sake of the kids, but the relationship is hanging by a thread. Lisa says she wants to make it work, that she'll do anything to fix the damage she's caused. But I'm not sure I can forgive her. Part of me wants to move on, to leave this mess behind. But another part of me remembers the life we built together, the kids, the memories, the love we once had. I don't know if I can throw that away so easily. For now, I'm taking it one day at a time. We'll see what happens. But one thing's for sure, nothing will ever be the same. Comments? User 1. Wow, man. I feel for you. That's a tough spot to be in. Stay strong and remember, trust is the foundation of any relationship. Once it's broken, well, you know. User 2. Lisa had the nerve to cheat at your work event? That's a special kind of low. Don't rush into any decisions, but make sure you look after yourself first. User 3. The fact that Derek didn't even try to cover it up properly just shows what kind of guy he is. You're better off without both of them in your life, honestly. User 4. Oh, I hate that "it was a mistake" excuse. That's not a mistake, that's a choice. Multiple choices, actually. You deserve better, dude. User 5. As hard as it is, I'd recommend couples therapy if you're considering staying. But don't feel like you have to forgive her. Cheating isn't something everyone can move past.